Hello everyone, I'm Angeline.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to English Digest. We're so glad you could join us today. In today's episode, we'll be looking at our picture writing unit. Now, it looks like today's topic will be about a favorite pastime for many people, lining up.
Oh, no.
A pastime is something that you do in your spare time because you enjoy it or are interested in it.Pastime is the same as hobby.
今天呢要写的是一篇看图写作。刚刚呢 Angeline 老师说，好像跟这个 pastime 有关系哦。pastime 你呢可以把它拆成两半哦 ，past。time OK 度过时间，所以呢也就是你杀时间会做的事情了。比方说像是这个追剧啦、玩电玩啦，那呢它这个通常会等于这个 hobby 哦，也就是你的嗜好。所以呢今天要写的是什么嗜好呢 ？Lining up， 排队也可以算是一种嗜好吗
？I'm just joking, but honestly.People in Taiwan seem to love lining up.
Yes.
Okay, you have to admit it, right?
Yeah.
They'll line up to get the latest iPhone, the limited edition sneakers, line up to get into new restaurants, and the list goes on and on and on. What's the longest you've spent in line, and what were you lining up for, Sam?
I remember there's a Japanese sushi restaurant. Yeah, they even came up with an special app so you can wait online.I remember we waited for 3 hours to get in. That's crazy because we've used that app to wait in line in advance, but still we were waiting 3 hours. It was the time when it was really popular because it's first came into Taiwan. It's still new. So
what is this restaurant called? I feel like I might have been there.
It's something sushi
Does it start with a C? I can't remember right now, but there's a restaurant that came from Japan, like you said, and it's the
sushiro or something.
Oh,
or
okay,
something
okay,
sushi.
okay.
I can't remember.
See. Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, the wait time, I remember you could book only 2 weeks in advance, right?
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
Like that. Yeah.
But every time you book 2 weeks in advance, it would always be full. So you'd have to wait for the next 2 weeks. They would never open up the reservation for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So every time you would always never get it.
I think it's the same thing for some Michelin star
A lot of Michelin restaurants. Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, without further ado, let's take a look at our writing prompt for today.
马上来看一下今天的这个提示了。今天要写一篇关于这个排队的看图写作了。他说呢，请仔细观察下方图片的内容，写出一篇120字以上的文章，来描述图中的人、事、物以及呢可能的发展。文章呢必须要有合理的发展和完整的结局哦。
So today we'll be writing a picture composition. Now this type of writing exercise requires us to study the picture carefully and then write an essay with at least 120 words.You'll need to establish a clear and logical theme that you will support and develop throughout the essay, and also come up with a reasonable conclusion. For example, we might say the theme of the story is that people will join a line because it is long.
Is it a thing because the line is long so you join it?
Yes!
Yeah?
You've never heard people do that?
No, that's
really?
crazy.
Okay, I have to admit that sometimes I judge let's say for example you go to a night market and you judge which place you want to eat at based on whether or not there's a lineup. You've never done this before.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In this case, yes, I get it.
Yeah, so the longer the line, it's that place must be
good.
Better. Yeah. If there were let's say there were 3 yen sushi stalls,
yes.
Very close by, and one had a lineup and the other 2 had no lineup. I'm sure you would join the one with the lineup, right?
Yeah. It really depends on how long the line is. Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Okay, so now let's take some time to discuss the approach we're going to take to write this picture composition. Now, the picture is supposed to spark off an idea, which is meant to be the basis of a descriptive piece of writing, or even a story. In this writing exercise, we are only given one picture. Now, this gives us the freedom to decide how the story will develop. This also means we can decide to place this scene anywhere in the story, the beginning, the middle, or the end. Now, we can use it to develop our plot or even to end the story. So for the purposes of this writing exercise, we will use it in the beginning or the middle since we have to come up with a conclusion.
一般来说，看图写作呢，如果提供的图片越多，内容呢当然也就越受到限制了，因为呢你的这个起承转合它都帮你规划好了。那以今天这篇文章来说呢，它只有给一张图哦，相对呢它的想象空间也比较大咯，也没有呢这个时间顺序的限制。这张图片呢可以当做开头，比方说呢是这个故事发生的原因，或者是呢它可以当做这个故事的过程或者是结果。 比方说呢，他在这个路上看到排队很长，好奇在排什么，然后呢一步一步发掘，或是呢他也可以是这个过程比方说他已经排了很久但是呢都没有前进所以看到他头上有个问号。OK， 不管怎么样呢，只要合情合理，剧情的发展呢可以由这个同学自己来决定咯。
So the first thing we should do before we begin drafting our essay is to study the picture carefully. You'll want to make note of what is happening in the picture. So who are the people? Where are they?As well as other things you notice in the picture. You want to help the audience visualize what is going on and fill in the blanks. Now remember to pay close attention to details such as facial expressions. Is the man smiling? Is he angry? Is he irritated? And body language, especially the position of their hands as they represent emotions and actions. Okay, so if your arms are crossed, it usually means, you're not very happy about the situation.
Or maybe
right?
you're cold.
Oh, maybe you're cold, like we are right now.
Yeah.
For example, we see a question mark above the man's head, which means he probably doesn't know what's going on. He's confused.
Yeah, OK. 图片写作第一步呢，一定是要仔细观察图片的内容咯。那呢，如果你观察这个图片呢，不知道有哪些细节可以这个记录下来的话呢，你记得可以问问看自己这个时事人地物 OK 是什么人在里面发生了什么事情，什么时间点，在什么地点等等呢。用这些问题呢，帮助你呢来解读图片中的所有细节，所有的讯息那记得呢，我们可以多观察这个人物的，刚刚这个 Angelina 老师有提醒他的表情，他的动作，比方说他的手放在哪里啦，他的表情是开心、难过，或者甚至像他头上有个问号是为什么问号等等，这些细节呢，等一下呢，在你的文章里面都可以写出来咯。
Then, as I mentioned earlier, you'll want to establish a theme for the composition. What is the picture trying to convey? Develop your plot based on this theme. There must be a clear connection between the picture and your composition, okay? So it wouldn't make sense to write a story about a family of elephants when this picture is clearly about people lining up. Unless, of course, you decide that these people are lining up to see a family of elephants at the zoo.
Okay.
Then fine, write about your family of elephants.
好，那呢，我们这个记录下来这个图片里面你看到的所有讯息之后呢，再来呢就要根据到我们所观察到的这些线索来设定呢你想要表达的主题，并且呢运用你的想象力来推理剧情了，说一个和这个图片有关系、合理而且精彩的故事。那什么叫做合理呢？比方说看着今天的图片呢，你大概不会写出来，比方说像这个睡美人啦、美女与野兽啊、狮子王，或者是写这个动物园里面这个大象一家人。这个呢看着今天的图片，你大概是联想不到这些事情吧，所以呢记得合情合理我们今天图片是这样子，我们大概就是要写他是在排队，在排什么东西这样的一个故事。
So it's a good idea to separate your composition into several paragraphs. This will make your writing clear and also easier for the audience to follow. Maybe in the first paragraph you can talk about how the man happened to pass by and noticed a long line of people and decided to jump in line, not knowing what he was lining up for. In the second paragraph, you can talk about how, as he got closer to the front of the line, he realized he lined up for something he had absolutely no interest in.
OK， 注意到呢，不论是什么样类型的文章呢，我们都需要起承转合这样的架构咯。文章呢在这边没有特别规定，但是呢你可以把它分段。比方说第一段呢，我们可以写说，他看到这个队伍很好奇啊，决定开始排。然后呢，在第二段要带出转折了，他发现排的是什么东西他其实不是很喜欢，没有兴趣等等，这样子呢就可以是一个完整的故事。
Actually, I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, for example, you were this man you were passing by this line and you noticed that the line was very long. You couldn't tell what people were lining up for and you were all alone, okay? And then you see people behind you who are like running. They're trying to get in line as well. Would you line up or would you still go to the front of the line to see what you're lining up for and then come back? And then you'll be like really, really, really at the back of the line.
I'll ask them.
You'll ask?
Yeah, I'll get in the line and ask.
Smart. So you'll get in line first, and then you'll ask, excuse me, what are you lining up for?
Yeah, or maybe Google it. Yeah.
Google it. Yeah, that's a smart idea. What if you were the person in front? Would you reveal what you were lining up for?
Yeah, I'll tell them. Yeah,
you would.
Yeah, if you're like behind me, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Since you're behind me.
Okay, so picture compositions are categorized as narrative essays. As such, this type of essay is usually written in the past tense. Now, ensure your tenses are consistent throughout your essay. That is very important.
看图写作就是呢在讲故事，叙述图片里面发生的事情，所以呢它是一篇叙述文，而且呢它又是要讲一个故事啊，顾名思义就是发生在过去了，所以通常文章里面呢我们动词时态会以过去式为主咯。注意到呢我们文章前后呢动词时态要一致哦，不然会让这个读者混淆。另外呢我们提醒大家了，你也可以帮这个主角命名，让读者呢比较好记，比较容易了解，或者呢你也可以直接使用第一人称，就是呢你自己加入这个队伍，叙述你自己的故事，这样子的写法也 OK 哦。
And one final thing to keep in mind is that you might find it easier to name the characters in the story. This will make it easier for the audience to follow, to know who you're talking about, and also help you save on word count. Okay, so now it's time to start brainstorming some ideas. You can organize your ideas using the organizational chart you see in the magazine. It addresses the 4 important questions. Who is in the picture? Where are the people? When is this event taking place? What is going on? You can answer these questions using 1 or 2 words.
在这个杂志上面呢，就提醒我们了，可以透过这个组织图来架构这篇看图写作的内容哦。记得呢，我们刚刚有提醒大家可以问一下时事人地物，那你就可以写下来任何这个你看到的内容。OK， 比方说像我们刚刚讲是谁呀，什么时间点发生的，在哪里等等哦。先问自己这些问题，回答这些问题再来呢，我们就可以利用组织图把我们这些刚刚写下来的答案，写下来的细节呢 OK 记录在这个组织图里面。那呢我们透过这个组织图呢就不会漏掉这些细节，写作的时候呢也比较不会偏题了。那记得呢我们就再把这些记录下来的点呢延伸变成线，它呢就可以变成我们的大纲，我们的 outline 咯。
Sometimes the 5 W's, why, what, where, when, who, may not be obvious in the picture, so you can use your imagination to answer some of them. For example, in the picture, you cannot tell what time of day it is, but in the sample brainstorming chart, you see the writer has established it's the afternoon. Okay? Another thing you want to do is observe the subjects and their body language, which I mentioned earlier.
所以呢，这一次提醒大家了，我们这个观察这个人事物注意到呢，我们可以看看他的这个 body language， 看看他手怎么摆，表情怎么样。然后呢，刚刚也提醒过大家，如果不知道怎么开始看起可以问自己这5个问题了，时事人地物。那你问完这些问题之后，有的时候呢，在这个图片里面可能是不明显的，比方说像是时间是白天还是晚上，在这个图片里面好像看不太出来。这个时候呢，就要大家呢运用你的想象力来回答这些问题，编成一个好看的故事咯。
Now, everyone's interpretation of this picture may be different, but it's important to ensure your claims can be backed up by the picture.
没有错，同一张图片呢，但是每个人看到的都不同。比方说他额头有流汗，可能是很紧张，但是我看我以为是天气很热，毕竟呢现在台湾这么热，对不对？所以呢怎么样都可以，没有关系，可以天马行空，但是记得我们刚刚提醒过大家要合情合理，并且跟图片有关。明明呢他就在流汗，你还说现在零下10度，他穿短袖短裤，你说零下10度，这样就不太合理请大家呢记得在有限的范围内尽情的使用你的想象力了。
So all these ideas you generated while brainstorming will help you create your outline. So the more ideas you come up with, the more information you have to work with. Okay, so the next order of business after brainstorming is to organize the ideas into an outline. Now, an outline can help us organize the paragraphs into an order that makes sense, and it also ensures each paragraph is fully developed. Let's take a look at the sample outline in the magazine. It says, Joseph was walking in the shopping district one afternoon and saw a line. Now, this is a good topic sentence. It answers who, where, and when. Then we're given other details like A, the line was very long. B, he thought it might be for a special discount. And C, he decided to stand in line.
Yeah, it's a special discount for what?
A special discount for what?
Yeah.
Good question. Maybe buy one iPhone, get the other one free.
Okay.
You jump in that line, wouldn't
yes,
you?
Yes, and I will sell it online.
You will sell it online.
OK, 马上呢看到我们这边这个作者呢，这个透过我们的范例文章呢拟了一个大纲首先呢，一开头 introduction 马上呢给出我们的主题句他就呢马上的讲说呢，他是在这个 shopping district， OK， 他在这个地方，然后呢他在做什么事情？第一个句子就把这个时间、人物 Joseph。OK， 他在这个 shopping district 商圈，并且呢是在 one afternoon 某一天下午 ，OK， 把这个时间、地点、人物都点出来了。那后面呢，他就用这个更多的细节一些这个句子来呢支持他的开头的这个主题句了。他说呢，首先这个队伍呢是非常的长。 他看不到前面在排什么，那他觉得这个可能是一个很特别的折扣 OK 不知道是什么折扣，但是呢是特别的折扣，所以呢他就决定呢 stand in the line 决定呢站到这个队伍里面了。
It would be funny if it was like a special discount for I don't know, feminine hygiene products. He didn't realize. Okay, our second paragraph begins with a topic sentence. Joseph looked at his phone to kill time. And then it says, he saw his friend was also in line and closer to the front. Joseph learned it was for a pop-up donut shop. His friend offered to get donuts and asked him to get coffee. Okay, so lucky for Joseph, this was a donut shop, and I think he likes donuts, so this wasn't a sad ending. Not a sad ending, but it wasn't disappointing for him.
Yeah, it's not like a feminine hygiene product. OK， 我们马上呢看到作者继续讲这个第二段了。第二段他说这个 Joseph 继续排队呢，他就看他的手机哦，来这个 kill time 杀时间哦。然后呢，他发现队伍前方呢其实是有他的朋友，所以他就赶快联络了一下，然后知道了说今天呢这边是有一个这个 pop up shop， 一个这个甜甜圈的快闪店。所以呢，他的朋友呢就跟他讲说，不然好了，我排不了前面，甜甜圈我来买吧，你去帮我买咖啡这样子。所以不是一个太可怜的故事了。
The writer established that this story will end off on a good note. The concluding sentence says, he agreed because what are friends for?
他同意了这个他朋友提出来的 offer 哦，就是说这个他买甜甜圈，他去买咖啡这样子的一个提议。毕竟呢，怎么样，朋友不就是应该这样吗？
Exactly. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break before we read through our sample writing. Welcome back. Okay, let's take a look at our basic sample. Basic sample. Joseph was walking through the shopping district of his city one afternoon when he saw a long line of people. It was so long that he couldn't see what they were lining up for. However, in Joseph's experience, large groups of people only line up like this if a new store is about to open and offer free gifts or special discounts. He decided to stand in the line. To kill time, Joseph looked at his phone. He saw that his friend Polly was in the line as well and had posted a picture. Polly was closer to the front than he was. Joseph messaged her and learned that they were in line for a pop-up donut shop. Polly offered to buy some donuts for him if Joseph went to get coffee for the two of them. Joseph agreed. After all, what are friends for? Okay, so have you ever done something similar to Joseph? Jump in line just for the heck of it? Whenever I see a long line, it definitely gets my attention. I'm always curious to know what people are lining up for. Is it a free sample, or is there a special sale going on? Or maybe people are lining up to get a celebrity's autograph or something. I don't know, but there's always a reason for why people are lining up, right?
Yes. I'm always curious when there's a huge line, but I never join the line. I would go to the beginning of the line and see what's going on and decide if I want to join the line.
So Joseph is at his city's shopping district where he notices this line, okay? A district is an area or a section that has some special characteristic or purpose. Now, a shopping district would mean it's an area with a lot of shopping malls. I'm not sure if you guys frequent Xingyi shopping district on the weekends, but there you'll always find several events taking place in the plaza. There are always street performers, mini concerts, and businesses promoting their products.
District 呢就是区域哦，可以呢像是我们今天文章讲的，比方说像是 shopping district 商圈，或者是呢 business district 商业区等等哦。那另外呢，像我们台湾这个行政划分呢，也有这个区哦，比方说像是大安区啦、北投区啦、新店区、淡水区等等。这个区呢，我们就是使用 district 这个单字。
Now, waiting in line or lining up can be quite boring, right? A lot of people use their phones to kill time. Now, when you kill time, you try to make time seem to pass more quickly by doing something instead of just waiting. What do you do to kill time, Sam?
Kill time 呢，直翻就跟中文一样，杀时间哦。So what do I do to kill time? I would use my phone as well. I'd watch Netflix, play games, or shopping. Yeah. Even though I'm in line, I'm probably shopping like, online. Yeah.
Shopping online.
Yeah.
Can't waste a moment, eh?
Yeah, you have to seize all the opportunities, like all the discounts. Yeah.
That you can get.
Yeah.
So what was Joseph lining for? Well, a pop-up donut store. Now, a pop-up store is a store that is only there for a limited time. Brands take advantage of pop-up stores to promote their products and interact with customers. This is especially true of brands without a physical presence. That means they're just an online store, an online company. They don't actually have a physical store. So they use pop-up stores to promote their brand. Now, some brands also have pop-ups to take advantage of trends or seasonal demands.
Yeah, like during holidays. Pop up, OK, pop up 这个片语就是跳出来的，所以呢，这个店是忽然间跳出来的，表示呢它是忽然出现了，那它通常时间也不会太长。中文呢我们就翻译为快闪店。比方说呢，一个新开的，它要有这个特别促销，它可能就会在这个热门的商圈开一个快闪店，或者它是线上商品哦，它没有这个实体店，它可能也会开一个快闪店来试水温。
Okay, so lucky for Joseph, he knew someone at the front of the line, and that person was able to get him some donuts. But in return, he had to go and get some coffee. But I don't think it was a bad deal at all. I think Joseph got the better end of the deal because he didn't even have to line up. Can you imagine lining up in the heat right now? In the sweltering heat? I don't know. How long would you line up right now? Given this temperature right now?
For donuts?
No, maybe not for donuts. Just for something that you really like.
Okay.
But in this heat. This
In
heat
this
that we're
heat.
experiencing right now. Yeah.
I
think it's
I really
30-something
can't.
Today. You can't?
No,
Not
I
even for
can't.
5 minutes?
No. Yeah, I'd be burnt.
Okay, now let's take a look at our second writing sample and see what story this writer came up with. Advanced sample. Last weekend, I found myself with ample free time and no particular place to be. That being the case, I decided to wander around my city's shopping district. Not a few minutes after I arrived, I came upon an astoundingly long line of people. It wrapped around the entire block and then some. I tried to find out what was going on, but couldn't see where the line began. Well, I said to myself, if the line is this long, it must be for something worthwhile. With that in mind, I got in line myself. The line took ages to move. I played on my phone for about 45 minutes before my legs started getting tired, and looking up, I realized I was still in the same place. I began to worry about whether I was wasting my time, as I still had no idea what I was in line for. Eventually, as the line moved up, the building it was going into came into view. It turned out to be a medical clinic. I wasn't sick at all, so I had no need to see a doctor. I slipped out of the line, feeling irritated that I'd misused my free time. At least next time, I won't fall into the trap of doing something just because it seems popular. Okay, I really like the twist at the end of the story. Can you believe this man jumped in line not knowing what he was getting himself into? He didn't bother to ask anybody in front of him or around him.
Why?
He didn't Google it when he was on his phone. He didn't try to figure out what exactly that building was. Or it's kind of silly, you know. But it's kind of funny also because he was in line to get into a medical clinic. I don't even know why a medical clinic would have such a long line, though.
Maybe it's like a very famous doctor.
Famous doctor.
Yeah,
okay.
especially for like your skin or yeah. Still, I'm curious about what they're lining for. Face mask.
Yeah, like
or...
why can't you make an appointment? You know, what exactly could you be lining up to go in to check out the new hospital? Maybe it's a new clinic, and people are like, "Oh, let's go check it out."
Like really?
Or maybe they're giving free appointments, free consultation today.
Yeah, like it's very effective when it comes to like weight losing or
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's free consultation.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have ample free time to go and line up for something that you have no idea what you're lining up for, right? The word ample means a lot or having more than enough of what is needed. When I have ample free time, I like to spend it wandering around too. I actually really love window shopping.
and like spend your ample free time in line.
Not in line.
Just window shopping.
Yeah, window shopping.
I love shopping in general.
In general.
OK，ample 这个字就是足够的，但是呢 ample 是比 enough 还要多，是这个有多余的，多到你可以这个怎么样随便去排队，排了45分钟也觉得没差，这个呢就是 ample。那除了 ample free time， 或是呢你可以说这个 ample evidence， 比方说在办案有足够的证据可以定你的罪，我们就可以使用 ample 这个字。
I guess we can't really blame the man for not scoping out the area before jumping in line, right? Because it said it wrapped around the entire block and then some. So like I mentioned earlier, if you went to go and check out what you were lining up for, it's likely when you come back, the line will be even longer. So I guess he was kind of saving his place in line and he's like, oh, it must be worthwhile. So that's why he didn't go and check it out. The phrase and then some means and even more. It's used to emphasize that there is more in addition to what you have mentioned. For example, the house must have cost $2 million and then some.
And then some, OK， 就跟 and even more 意思一样，还有更多。比方说，我们刚刚说那间房子要价超过200万美金，还要更多 and then some.
Generally speaking, when people line up to eat at a restaurant, it should be worthwhile, right? If something is worthwhile, it's worth doing or getting. For example, you might ask yourself if it's worthwhile to fix your smartphone or to buy a new one.
Sometimes it can be really expensive.
Exactly. I know with the iPhone, it's very expensive to replace the screen,
yes,
right?
Yes. OK. Worthwhile 呢就是值得通常呢我们会搭配这个虚主词 it 来使用。比方说呢我们会说 it is worthwhile， 后面呢加上 to 再加上原形动词，或是呢你也可以说 it's worthwhile， 后面加上不要加 to， 直接加上动名词，也是这个正确的用法。
I must say this man is very patient. I mean, he was in line for 45 minutes and the line did not move at all. If I stood in line for 5 minutes and the line didn't even move 1 inch, I would give up like right away.
Yeah, even you know what's waiting for you.
Yeah, I would give up.
OK， 好。Take ages, OK， 注意到呢，我们这篇文章里面他讲说他排队排了很久哦。Take ages, OK， 这个呢就可以用来表示一个东西存在的时间了。所以呢，我们这边讲说 take ages to do something, OK， 就是呢要花很多时间做这件事情哦，像是他排队排了很久。
If you were the man, would you first ask someone in line what they are lining up for? Yeah, you answer this question.
Yes, of course I would ask someone before I jump in line. It's silly. What if I found out it's a medical clinic? What I do? Yeah, it's ridiculous. He didn't ask anyone.
He didn't ask anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't Google it. He didn't do anything. Yeah,
he must have ample free time.
He has ample free time. But he did say that it was also kind of a waste of time. He misused his free time. Yeah. Because honestly, how many of us actually have ample free time? I think we don't really. Sometimes I feel like 24 hours is not enough hours in a day.
No, you have to sleep. Sometimes I feel like sleeping is a waste of time.
A waste of time. Oh, yeah, there are people who think that. So then they only sleep 4 hours in a day. It's terrible. It really is not a good idea to do that. Anyways, at the end of this unit, you'll see that we've included another organizational chart for you to practice brainstorming. So you can fill in the bubbles with your ideas. Remember, practice makes perfect. Anyways, we've come to the end of our episode. Hopefully, you guys will be smart about waiting in line in the future because I'm sure there will be other scenarios where you will be waiting in line, right?
Yes.
But that's all the time we have for today. This is Angeline.
This is Sam.
Goodbye.